Hi, everybody. My name is Philip Turner, and I'm a divorce coach, helping men through that process. One of the big things that I like to talk about in my program is called gratitude. So a little backstory of mine is I was married once. I know, crazy, right? And there's this phenomenon that often occurs when two individuals get married called pregnancy. Now, the main side effect of pregnancy is children, and I have one of those. She's pretty cool, and I love her very much. Unfortunately, a potential risk of getting married is that one may end up also getting divorced. You can almost flip a coin nowadays and decide and figure out whether or not you're going to end up getting divorced. That rate's approaching 50%, but obviously the ex-wife and I are casualties of divorce. But nonetheless, we've been able to maintain a pretty cordial and professional relationship, and we do this all for the sake of our daughter. Um, we're all on one team. It's all one team. It's team our daughter's name. I'm not going to say it tonight, but or today, but I want to tell you guys a little story about Christmas time and talk a little bit about how I got through this challenging situation. So my daughter and I and my ex-wife, we don't live in the same state. And so I FaceTime my daughter every day or almost every day. And then I usually try to make time to fly to go see her, or fly her to see me. So this Christmas was my Christmas with her, and I wanted to obviously spend time. Well, my ex-wife and I have a pretty cordial, like I said, a cordial relationship. And so it's a little bit easier for me as I'm older and capable of flying by myself, as opposed to my 6-year-old, not so much, that I would offer to maybe just go to fly and see them and spend Christmas together. So I'm like, yeah, my daughter would like that. She gets to spend Christmas with both of her parents. Um, During this time, my ex-wife decided, she's like, yeah, that's cool. This will be a good time for you to meet my boyfriend. I was like, okay, yeah, that would be great. So I fly in, and my ex comes and picks me up from the airport. And so we're talking, and I'm like, well, what's the plan for today? And she's like, well, I got to go back to work. And I was like, okay, well, where's the kiddo? She's like, oh, well, she's at the house with my boyfriend. And I was like, okay, well, what's he doing? What's he doing for the rest of the day? And she's like, well, he's staying with us. I'm like, excuse me? And she's like, yeah, he's staying with us this week. I said this, I told you this. I'm like, woman, no, you did not. I'm like, I'll admit that there are a lot of times where I don't listen to you, but this is something that I would remember. So I'm pretty sure you didn't say anything about this. She's like, well, yeah, I did. So it's only weird if you make it weird, right? I'm like, that's something that I always say. So she, likes to turn it around, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's only weird if I make it weird. It's not gonna be weird. Um, you know, I I'll meet him, and made the decision to spend the weekend, 4 days, 4 days, 3 nights, all of us together at her house with her boyfriend. So the four of us all spent Christmas together and Christmas Eve together, and we went and had Christmas Eve dinner at her family's house, and it actually turned out to be a pretty fun time. But there was a moment or a few moments where I got a little bit uncomfortable. So I've gotten lots of different responses back telling this story. People saying, oh man, Philip, no way I could ever do that. How awkward or uncomfortable that must have been. Or, oh, you're a bigger man than I am. I would have just picked her up and I would have gone and, got a hotel or, stayed somewhere else. But most of all, I've gotten, Philip, how did you deal with such an uncomfortable situation? And the answer to that is gratitude. So, but Philip, what could one possibly have to be grateful for in those moments is what you're probably all thinking. And I could name off a few different things. I get to spend Christmas with my daughter. I get to have, I have an ex-wife who doesn't keep her child away from her father. My ex and her boyfriend aren't crackheads. He seems to treat my daughter really well. I get the opportunity to know who my daughter spends time with and spends time around. I don't have frostbite. My daughter gets to see all of us cooperate with healthy dialogue. I got to eat some cookies. Just because her mother and I aren't together anymore doesn't mean she's not going to go, excuse me, just because her mother and I aren't together anymore, it doesn't mean that she's going to go unloved or abandoned. There's someone else there to protect her. To her, these moments mean so much to her that there was no way that I was prepared to take that away from her. So in those moments when we don't feel like expressing gratitude, those are the most important times to make sure that we are. And I'd like to share with you a way to find gratitude in those moments called reframing. Now, reframing is just unplugging from your past conditioning and choosing to see something from a positive perspective. Remember, you have a choice to decide how you feel. Buddha once said, let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us be thankful. There's actually a little bit more to that. And, at least if we died, then at least I don't have to deal with your crap anymore. Just kidding, he didn't say that, but it's another step. But anyway, I want to talk about some steps that you can take when you feel like you need to reframe to be able to find gratitude in a situation that's challenging. So first, you check in with your emotions. You honor them without judgment. You kind of unplug from the matrix at this point. I feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. I feel misled, and that's okay. There's nothing I can do about it now. Whatever it is I'm feeling is natural. It's okay. It's just a program, or it's just conditioning. Number two is observe the current situation and to describe what you see. Okay, well, this is what's happening right now. I'm in the car. I haven't died yet. I'm safe. And then you look for a positive perspective to reframe the situation. I listed all those situations a little bit ago when I was naming off all the things I had to be grateful for. I get to meet a person who spends time around my daughter. This person may have influence in her life, but I'm her father and I always will be. I've helped raise such a loving, beautiful little girl, and she wants to include everyone in her holiday celebration and not to leave others out. I get the peace of mind to know and learn a little bit about this person who I may have countless interactions with in the future. And a little bit of discomfort now will lead to a lot more comfort in the future. And then the last step is allow yourself to feel gratitude for the positive things that you're seeing now. And take a deep breath and realize the things aren't that bad. I have an amazing and I have a very abundant life. So finding gratitude doesn't always have to be about the act or the task. Oftentimes it's about the experience or the lesson that transpires because of it. Every experience offers a lesson of growth, and that's the true gift of being alive. Reframing helps you find gratitude and valuable lessons inside of experiences that might take years to realize or that you'd completely miss altogether. There's always a way to see something new at the moment, and you can observe any experience in life and find the blessing or the lesson to be thankful for. So in essence, gratitude removes you from the lacking feeling and puts you into a more abundant mindset to show off to yourself that you have some awesome things in your life, that your life is awesome, and that you're awesome. By the way, after those few days spending with my ex's boyfriend, I did get to know quite a bit about him, and he's actually a really, really awesome dude. He's really amazing, and he seems to treat my daughter really well. She really likes him, and I'm really happy for everyone. So thank you everyone for listening to what I have to say. If there are any men out there who are going through divorce and struggling through those challenging times, I invite you to shoot me an email at Philip Turner at levelupmentoring.com. Here, it's Philip Turner, LVL, mentoring.com, or you can schedule a 45-minute free consultation, a discovery session with me at philipturner.youcanbook.me. So that's what I have for you guys today. And thank you for showing up to hear what I have to say about the magnitude of gratitude.